All right, guys, this is a ploy for my unsatiable yearn to have Planet Safari one day. No, I just figured, I was kind of in an experimental type of mood, so I figured I would go in and try to make an enclosure. And I didn't actually film, like, I know on the cinematics you saw Market Street and all that. That whole facade, I actually put that in this morning. Like, I did this enclosure yesterday, but that whole shopping center is actually, the pinnacle, quote unquote, the pinnacle. That is actually a shopping center from Geyser Springs, but I've brought it into this map and kind of tailored it. You've seen some of the screens and the billboards on there, tailored it more to like a zoo type setting, and I think it worked out really, really well. But yeah, this is just, and also too, you saw on the cinematics, thank you to Rudy for putting his elephants from, a few episodes ago, in Koali Beach. He put those elephants on the workshop, if you didn't know. And I basically brought them in and took the one that doesn't have its trunk up in the air and set it right kind of looking over the enclosure. I didn't actually intend this to be an elephant enclosure, but when I remembered that he put those on there, I thought that would be really cool to have that massive elephant kind of overlooking the enclosure, and the guests could kind of walk underneath it, and I figured there could be like interactive screens and informations about elephants in general underneath it as you're kind of coming into this area. And I thought it would be cool because, it would let the guests know that, okay, this is the elephant sanctuary over here. So I think now that, I've placed the market and did all that, from after this point on, I will go ahead and record everything I do. I even had my recording software up. I just didn't press record this morning, like a dummy while I was bringing all that stuff in. But really, you didn't miss a whole lot because, like I mentioned, that building was already built. So I had just saved it as a blueprint a long time ago, and remembered it and thought it would work well, kind of overlooking the elephant enclosure. So anyways, yeah, this is just I think a couple of us were talking a few days ago about if we believed that would Frontier waste the Planet Coaster, or the Planet Safari, trademark that appears that they want it. I mean, the only other thing I can see is there is like some kind of I don't know if it's a research company or some actual safari company, but I believe their name is Planet Safari. So I don't know if there was any hang up with that, or because it would seem like if Frontier did, went the Planet Safari route, they would want it for everything, merchandise and webs and the forum name. It looks like you would think that they would want the trademark for all of it. So I don't know how far that actual Planet Safari company's been around, or if they even ever applied for a trademark. So as far as I know, everything as far as Planet Safari goes is still registered. It appears to be Frontier. I think we will definitely know a lot more, especially, not just when the Frontier Expo happens in October, but I believe in, kind of being a creep and stalking Frontier's financial reports. I believe it seems like every year in September, particularly, they have a big financial disclosure that they send out to all their investors. It's like their big report for how they did over, because I believe the fiscal 2017 year ends in September, so that's when their big report comes out, and I think that is going to tell us hopefully a lot about maybe moving forward and what they disclose to their investors. I believe it seems like it comes out in September. So here we are, July 29th. We've got about a month to go. I'll keep an eye out on that for you guys and see what they end up disclosing, or what they end up saying about the new third franchise, whether it ends up being a Hollywood IP like a lot of people speculate, or if it'll be Planet Safari. We don't know. I tend to lean more towards Planet Safari will tie into Planet Coaster, perhaps an expansion type deal. But, total speculation. It could end up being its own game. I just more lean towards I lean more towards Frontier, the third franchise, being a completely separate game. And does that mean that Planet Safari may be the complete separate game? Who knows? It could be. I think that would be cool too. But I think it would really hamper them and cause a lot of angst amongst the fans that would want to build like let's say a Busch Gardens type park to where you could have the animals and the safaris and all that, but have your cheetah runs and Koombas and Montus and, have all that together. So I don't know how they would work that out with the animals and how the guests would interact and what the guests would look for. So I don't know. It's totally up in the air. I have zero knowledge on that. All I can give you is my personal preference, and I believe my preference would be the latter. Instead of having it as its own game, I would rather have it probably, I'd say, as an expansion. So I could build the roller coasters and the zoo and make one mega park like that and not have to sacrifice one or the other. Like, okay, well, do I feel like building a zoo today? And okay, that's what I'm going to do. And never be able to have, you see what I'm saying? You would never be able to have any rides or anything like that if they made it just a standalone zoo game, which, some people would prefer. I understand it. I think it would be cool. I would buy it. But how hindering would it be if you wanted to build coasters and stuff with your zoo and you couldn't? You would totally have to log out, go into a totally separate game, and just and build the animal enclosures, and that's pretty much it. See how kind of I think you would get steered away from that after so long. Like, I feel that Planet Safari would be more quickly abandoned for roller coasters and the rides and all that stuff. So I just don't really see them going that route. I see the unannounced third Frontier franchise being some totally separate game from Planet Coaster and Planet Safari, because even in the releases they've kind of hinted to that, because they say, I don't actually have it pulled up, but they're like, we've got exciting news about the future of Planet Coaster and really exciting updates about that, I believe they say. And then totally separate in the press release, they talk about, we will also go into detail about Frontier's exciting new third franchise. Why would they say that if that was going to be, an extension of Planet Coaster? So that leaves me a little worried too. Like, if the third franchise ends up being Planet Safari, that kind of leaves out the hope of building coasters and stuff inside the zoo simulator. So hopefully for me, as far as my preference goes, Planet Safari ends up being a massive expansion pack to Planet Coaster and not a standalone game. So that's just, I might get some heat for that in the comment section, but that's why we're here. Leave me a comment down below. Let's be detailed about this when you interact with me down below. Why would you want it to be a standalone game, or why would you want it to be an arm of Planet Coaster? So, like I said, let's jump into this. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. I haven't talked about Planet Safari in a while, but with this coming up in October, on October 7th, I believe, which is really cool. I believe it's a Saturday, so it's not like it's not going down on like a weird Tuesday where most people would be at work, or as far as September goes, a lot of people be back in class. This is a full Saturday, and as a matter of fact, let me go check here real quick. and see. Let me make sure. So October, yes, October 7th is a Saturday. So hopefully a lot of people, if you don't have to work, we can all be here. If you're not there in person, we can be at home checking all this stuff out and, you know, yeah, just seeing how all this news is going to go down. A lot of speculation, a lot of rumors swirling around out there. So who knows? We just have to wait and see. But I'm sure Frontier won't let us down. Anyways, guys, give me a thumbs up if you end up enjoying this video. Let me know what you think about this enclosure and the future of Frontier's plans. Planet Coaster, Planet Safari. Let's go. I'm already getting hyped, and it's not even September yet, and I'm already hyped. So anyways, guys, give me a thumbs up if you end up enjoying this video. Subscribe for more Planet Coaster content. And yes, I will catch you next time. Thank you. See ya.